Welcome back to Checkmate with Blake, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to completely crush the Italian game. I'm going to show you guys an opening that is probably my favorite opening to play for black, and in fact I play this opening every single time that my opponent plays the Italian game. Every line that I'm going to show you today is actually a trap, and even if white plays the best lines, I will show you how to play for black to set even more traps and to win almost every single game that you play against the Italian game. The opening that I'm going to show you today is called the Rousseau Gambit. I have already made a video on this. I think I posted a video on this maybe like 7 months ago. But this video that I'm going to make today is more of like a masterclass. So it's going to have some extended lines. And also, since that video was posted so long ago, for those who haven't seen the Rousseau, I want you to see it. This is an opening you have to have in your bag. This is an opening you have to know because it is such a dangerous weapon. And what is the Rousseau Gambit? Let's go ahead and get started. The Rousseau Gambit is this move F5, which is very, it breaks principles. This opening, like people always say, never move the F pawn, never play F6, never play F5, and we are purposely playing F5. Now, as you'll see from the engine, as you'll see from the analysis, the engine gives us a plus 0.9 for white. But white will not be able to show that advantage because I'm going to give you guys some crazy lines, and I doubt anyone will know how to play against this, which is why you will win in almost every single line. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, please give it a like. It will help promote the video, and consider joining the community that we have today. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, I'd love to have you guys here. And as always, if you want to support this channel, you can do donations, or you can check out the membership tiers that I have available. I won't waste any more time. We'll go ahead and get right started into the video. So this first line that I want to cover, we're going to talk about some of the basics here. So again, why would we play the move F5? Because it looks like, if you play the Italian, anyone who plays the Italian knows that they want to attack this F7 square. The F7 square is the weakest square on the board. So why in the world would we play this move F5, weakening our position? Well, first let's decide what happens if they take this pawn. Let's just look at the basics. I'll look at what happens if they take, what happens if they defend the pawn. I'll look at every single line, and I'll show you guys. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll want to play this opening because every line is so fun to play. So if they take the pawn here, notice now the engine immediately says we are winning. We are already winning. Black is winning. We've already achieved what we want. And this is just one of the lines. Because now what we do is we push the pawn. We play pawn to e4, attacking the knight. Now, obviously, the knight can't seem to move anywhere, right? Our queen covers it and our knight covers these other squares. And they don't want to waste a move by going back, right? Because if they go back, obviously we're winning in this position. I mean, we're up knight G, we're up, it says 0.5 according to the engine. I mean, you can just play moves like knight developing, you can play d5, we're already crushing. So a lot of times they're going to play this move queen e2 to try and pin it to the king and thinking, okay, maybe I'll survive this attack. But instead, now you just play your own queen e7, and all of a sudden, the threat is reinstated. And again, they cannot move the knight anywhere. Now, so a lot of times they're going to go knight g1. It's their only move that they can really play. And here you throw in another move. You just develop your piece. You develop knight f6, protecting your pawn in the center, and just developing move. Now, a lot of times they're going to play this move d3. I find this very, very often. d3 attempts to just destroy your center. But you say, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the pawn in the center. And instead, you attack their queen. Knight d4 attacks their queen. Now, if they go forward, there's a beautiful fork here, and you already won the game immediately. But what happens if they instead go queen d1, protecting their queen, stopping the fork? It doesn't stop the fork. Because now what you play is knight takes c2, a brilliant move. Because if the queen captures, and of course they're kind of forced to because you're going to win this rook either way. So if they capture, now you take here and you have a discovered check. So of course if they move, you pick up the queen. But if they go this way, of course you still will take. Now you actually take with the pawn. You won't take with the queen. But you will win a queen already. So you're already crushing. And in this line, this has been 10 moves and we are already winning. So they cannot take the pawn. But we'll go on to another example here. So what happens if instead of taking the pawn, they do nothing? And they decide to protect their pawn in the center by playing a move like knight c3, another common blunder. I have won so many games. And as you guys will see, we are up 1.6 according to the engine. Well, I've won so many games in this exact position because the move that you can play here now is you take the pawn. You take the e-pawn because once they capture back, look at this, d5. And now you are winning a piece. Now, before we stop this right here, I want to point out they have a little trick. Sometimes they will actually take this pawn in the center, sacrificing another piece. Because if you decide to take the wrong piece, let's say you take here. Now notice they will trade down, and then they'll give this check. Your only move is to block, and they will actually win this rook in the corner. So you don't actually want to play that line. So instead, if they take knight takes e5, well, you take anyways. Just take their knight. Because now you're still forking their pieces. You're still winning their pieces. And now if they try this queen h5 check, you always have this move knight g6 now to go back, and you're still attacking the pieces. The best thing they could play would probably be to do something like this, bishop takes d5, but of course you're already up a pawn, you're winning. The engine says you're up 2.59. I'm sure we have some beautiful continuations, like even the engine points out this move knight f6, already attacking more pieces. I mean, you're completely crushing. You're already winning in the opening, and that's only two. I just want to point out, you're only going to have that kind of line if they know to take here. Otherwise, you're just going to be up a piece. Most likely, they'll play a move like bishop d3, and you will just simply be up a whole piece already. But regardless, even if they played it as I just showed, you're still completely crushing, and you're already winning in the opening. Okay, let's go to some more advanced stuff. What happens if they decide to play the main line? Now, this is what the video is all about. This is the fun part of the video. So if you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed this next part. This is the brilliant lines that I want to show you guys today. So if they go down this main line, a lot of times they'll play the move d3. And they'll think, I don't know what this f5 move is. I'm not worried about it. I want to attack this pawn. I want to attack f7 and have a fork. And now my bishop covers this, so maybe now I can do my attack. Well, you say, okay, I'm going to ignore it. And you play bishop c5. Bishop c5 invites them to try this attack. And once they play the attack of knight g5, threatening to fork these pieces, now you play this sneaky move, pawn f4. I love this opening. There's so many traps because now they decide that they're going to do the fork. They think, okay, I am winning. I'm winning in this position, but notice the eval bar disagrees. Notice the eval bar shooting way up because the engine realizes that their attack is not in time. Because what do we have in this position? We have this move, queen h4. Queen h4 is now threatening a checkmate in 1. Now, obviously, they're still attacking our rook, so they think, I'm just going to castle. I'm going to get to safety. But the eval bar hates this move as well. And now we play another move. We go ahead and we actually sacrifice our rook here. Now, the engine takes some time here to actually understand this move. This move is very complicated, but obviously if we look at some of the top engine moves, none of the top engine moves actually relate to taking this rook. Because if they take this rook, which is the obvious move for them, they lose. It's game over. It's game over. Because now we bring our knight in, we're threatening a checkmate in 1, but also look how many attackers we have on this pawn. And after they play a move like h3 to stop the checkmate, it's game over. And here's the brilliant moves I want to show you. So I want you guys to learn this line. You take here, threatening a discovered check. So they cannot move the queen or they'll lose their queen. There's actually, I mean, even if they do move it, you also have checkmates where you can sacrifice here with this discovered attack. So the best move that they can play is actually to take here. You take with the check. Now I'm going to show you what happens if they go to either one of these squares. If they go here, you play another move. You play f3. Now if they take with the queen, this is checkmate in 1. If they take here, you play d5, giving away another pawn. Because whichever one they take with, it doesn't even matter. Now you take here with the bishop, and look at this. You're threatening a checkmate in 1, and they cannot stop it. Because remember, you also are threatening a checkmate here. So if they try to go here to stop this checkmate, well, this is checkmate. They cannot stop it. It is a forced mate. You're going to have a checkmate with one of these two moves. And same, if they take with the pawn, you take here, and actually it says this is a brilliant move I want to point out. It's the same exact idea. Now, what happens if instead they went here? This is a little different. But now you play d5 first. Again, sacrificing a pawn, and it does not matter what they take with. If they take with this pawn, you give a check, and after they go back, their only move, now you take this piece. Again, another brilliant move. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at this move together. What happens if they take? Well, now you take here, and it is another checkmate because the bishop supports it. So this is the line I want you guys to learn because this is such a fun line. Believe it or not, I've played this many, many times. And you might ask, well, what are the odds that white actually goes down this line? Well, I say it's very, very likely because people who play the Italian want to attack f7. So they will go for this attack. They will. And if they do not, it's fine because I'll show you guys how we deal with that as well. All right, on to the next part. I'm going to give you guys, as I said in the beginning, I want you all to be very well prepared. So I'm going to show you guys some of the very best lines that white can play and how we have traps even in the best lines. So if they play this same theory, the move that they should play that's actually the best move in the position, why the engine does not like the Rousseau, is this move d4. Now you will take here, this is my recommendation. You take, now I want you guys to know the engine's best move, or at least the second best move, what the engine wants them to play is actually pushing this pawn. But you will not encounter this in your games. I've never once encountered that in my games, not one time. Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to a lot of human players, it's just not played. The move that they're going to play is they're going to take this pawn. Now you play knight f6. And it looks to me, and it should be obvious to you, that it looks like maybe they can take and then push and attack our knight. And that's exactly what we want. Because if they take and then decide to push and attack our knight, now you play this move knight e4. And if they think, okay, the knight is trapped, right? Like, it doesn't look like they can go. I mean, we have this square, but that's the only square we have. So if they try a move like f3, now you have this check. And if they ever decide to block, you will sacrifice the knight, because if they take, you will win the rook. So they cannot play f3. So in this position, their best move is to just castle. And here, I would just recommend a move like bishop c5, adding pressure. And then, you're just trying to get to safety, but you're completely fine. I mean, you are completely stable, even in white's best line. But if we go back here, let's say that they don't take this knight, and instead they just castle here. Well, now the move that you should play is you should play this move, tempoing the bishop. And after the bishop goes back, now you just take the pawn. And again, you have a very, very stable position. So those are just some ideas here. I don't know. There is one more line I guess I want to cover for you guys. What if they take this pawn? This is actually an inaccuracy, because now you play this move d5. And if they take here, you will take the knight. If they take here, you can take the queen. They no longer can castle. And now you can castle queenside with the tempo, and you're just completely fine. I mean, I love this position for black. You're completely, completely fine. Let's see. What happens if they take this way as well? Well, now you can actually take here. And if they take back, you win the piece here. Same idea. Same exact line. So the last thing I want to cover for you guys, let's see how long this video is. I don't want the video to be long, but I do want you all to be well prepared. And this last line, I think, is the most common one you will find. It is not white's best line, but it is what white plays almost every single time if they don't fall for our traps. And this line goes the same exact stuff, d3, bishop c5, but now they don't go for this tactic, and instead they play bishop g5. I encounter this somewhat frequently, so this is why I want to include it. I'll make this quick, but I want to include this just so you guys know my prep and how you should handle it. So now you play knight f6, they castle. They're not accepting our gambit. Now play the move d6, and after they develop the knight, this is the key move in the position. Their bishop is so strong, so you should try and eliminate the bishop. So my recommendation in this position is to play knight a5, which is the best move in the position, because now wherever the bishop goes to, you're actually going to capture it. But sample line just to give you guys, because I want you all to understand, is like, let's say they go here, you capture, and now you castle. Because now you're safe, and they don't have a ton of threats, and you're going to have a great game, a fun game. And this is, again, one of white's very, very best lines. If you guys want me to cover any more of these lines in depth, I definitely can. Please let me know in the comments. It's hard because I don't want to make the videos too long for you guys. So I want them to be enjoyable, but I don't want them to be too complicated. But if there's a line that wasn't clear, just leave it in the comments. I will answer any questions you guys have. Also, let me know what comments or what thing you would like to see in the next video, what kind of content you want to see, and I can make those videos too. Again, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. Go try this opening. I'm telling you guys, you will love it. It will be your new main prep against the Italian. If you also found this enjoyable, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you guys in the community. Thank you guys so much for watching.